is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
This is only a test.
DJs and MCs. This DJ, he gets down.
Listen to this jockey's introduction to
Two DJs and a mic with your host, DJ Mike.
Is that a timetable?
And DJ JP.
Well, get on it. It's your time.
Give me the mic.
Come on, you pushed. Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Two DJs and One Mic. I'm here with the soft-spoken DJ JP and the aggressive DJ Mike myself.
You're so full of it. Welcome to another episode, everybody. That's all I'm going to say because he is starting out on the wrong foot already today. All right, for tonight's episode.
Yes.
But it's all good.
Yes, but we want to thank one of New York's finest. We have Michael with us. How you doing today, brother?
Mike, JP, great to see both of you here from New York and you boys in Texas. Thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Yeah. Oh, always. It's always a pleasure. You know, we know we're about a month away from DJX.
Can't wait. My favorite time of year.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Can't wait. So let's jump into this thing. So can you take a moment, to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. I've been a professional full-time mobile DJ, private event DJ since May of 1997. Got my start because my next door neighbor had a DJ company. I was graduating high school, needed a job. And all I knew about this game was he was a DJ. And I said, I can work for you until I go to college. So I worked for him for like 3 months, had a blast doing it, went to college. Didn't love college as much, and after a year came back home from school and just went into the workforce and started DJing again for him, and I have not looked back. So we're going on, what's that, 28 years now, full time?
Almost 30.
Wow.
Yeah, getting closer to 30. So I'm still a full-time DJ. Got a daughter, live here in the Hudson Valley of New York. We're about 60 miles north of New York City. And then in addition to that, I do some part-time consulting and game day work for the Hudson Valley Renegades, which is a minor league baseball team here in our area who are the single A affiliate of the New York Yankees. We like to call them the baby Bronx Bombers. And between the full-time DJing, the baseball team, my daughter, I keep myself pretty busy. So,
all right, man. Wow.
So I have a follow-up for that.
Okay.
So most people we talk to about, DJing, it's always about a girl. So it wasn't about a girl for you, which makes
I was not chasing a girl. Didn't even enter the equation until like maybe the third or fourth gig I did for.
Oh, there it
and I was like, oh,
yes.
There it comes.
Oh, we can meet females while doing this.
I knew I was single at 18.
That's the added bonus.
Yeah. No, it was purely I'm looking for a job to make some money, whether it would be pocket spending money or while at college or money that, would help offset, I need some books or I just need some, living expense type stuff while in college. I was recruited to play some college hockey. It was only Division III, but I mean, I was looking to play hockey in college. So having a job before I left and made some extra money seemed like a good idea. My parents were pushing me that direction. I fell into this game by accident. I did not truly understand what I was getting into until I started working for this guy. And I never looked back. I just kind of fell into it. And apparently I had a natural adaptability and skill set that lent itself to be comfortable on a microphone, started learning the music and how to program and just never stopped. I still love performing. I still love doing it.
Yeah,
well, 28 years.
That means you like something about it. Yeah.
Oh, evidently, I would say it was meant to be.
Yeah, apparently so. It was just my course in life, and here I am still doing it and still loving performing and DJing and being a part of this industry.
All right, that's great. Well, let's jump right on into this interview, Mike. So what was your first paid DJ gig? You kind of mentioned it already. Back in 1997, and what do you remember most about it?
Here's the funny part. I remember very little about a lot of the parties, but the first one I ever DJ'd or got paid, the guy who owned the company said, "How about you come with me on this job to be a roadie?" And the way he described it was, "I'll pay you." I think I got paid maybe $50, 70
hot 50
to help him unload his van, set up his gear, hang out, watch the job, because I didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing about nothing. And then help him break down, load up, and go back home. And he was my neighbor. I could walk. I was still living with my parents. I was 18, 19 years old. I could walk to his house from my house. So
okay.
I would ride with him in his van. And that's what I did at that job, is I helped him set up, I helped him break down. But one thing that quickly changed my trajectory is, back then we were still DJing with CDs. He had Denon 2500 dual deck CD drive. It was 19-inch rack mountable in this custom built case. And he had collections of Pioneer CDs. I had never seen a Pioneer CD, or not Pioneer, promo only. First time I'd seen a promo only CD. And he would prop the CDs up to kind of anticipate what songs he would play next. In the CD case, they'd sit on their little sleeves. So I saw that he was grabbing the CDs as they'd come out of the tray. He'd pop a new CD and then put them away. So I just started anticipating him and helping him out. Like, "Oh, you need that CD out? Here, let me put that one in," and help him kind of transition his CDs quicker. And he asked me, "Hey, I'm going to go out there and teach a line dance. When I give you the cue, hit that green button." All I knew was it was the play button. Wait for him to tell me to play. Did that. And then started, during that job, I guess I showed enough initiative and enough aptitude for it. The next thing he said on the ride home, he goes, "You're not going to be a roadie. You're going to be a DJ."
Oh, wow.
And I do remember the job was kind of like a prom, but it wasn't your traditional prom, because it was for a special needs, special education school. So the students weren't typical high school age. They were a little bit older because they might be in school a little longer. And there were no DJ lights. Couldn't have anything that strobed or flashed for medical reasons. But that was the first paid job I was ever on of any kind. Now, usually I get asked, what's the first job I was on solo? All I remember is that it was a Sweet 16. I believe it was at a firehouse. And he would have these weekly staff meetings, because he had a few DJs and he had a bunch of crowd motivators, like dancers, that would go on the parties to help motivate the crowd. And we were all sitting there. He's handing out work assignments. This is pre-cell phones. Most people didn't have laptops. You had a desktop computer then. And it was all in pen and paper in a calendar book, like a big one. And he just wrote down, we got this Sweet 16 coming up. Mike, you're going to do that. And I'm like, really? Sure? Like, I don't feel ready. He's like, "You'll be fine. I'm going to send one of these guys with you." The guy he sent with me, I had worked like maybe 1 or 2 gigs with. I don't know how I got through that job. I don't remember anything about the party. I don't remember the music. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember the guests. But somehow I got through that job, wasn't scared away, and still DJing to this day. That's about the extent of what I remember of party number 1.
Wow.
And I barely had any music. I mean, the entire music I library had was whatever we had through promo only mainstream radio, promo only urban, and a 40 disc set of what was called the Platinum Series. I don't know how many people remember the Platinum Series. That was it. That was my entire music collection to get through.
Oh my goodness, man. Wow.
Unlike today where you take, your hard drive with, 30, 40,000 tracks, you got everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
It was,
How
I
you-
definitely remember being terrified when I was assigned that job,
uh-huh.
but made it through it and wasn't scared away. So,
Yep. And been rolling ever since, right?
rolling ever since.
Yeah. All right, Miguel, what you got?
So, how did the opportunity with Hudson Valley Renegades come about, and how does that experience compare to private events?
Very different, but very fun. I love every minute of it. So the Hudson Valley Renegades opportunity came about. There's a disc jockey here in the Hudson Valley. His name is Rick Zolzer. I got to give him a shout out. He is a dear friend in the industry, a great guy. He has been the long-standing PA announcer, on-field entertainment host, and he was an executive with the team. And he was also a private event mobile DJ in our area. I mean, an OG DJ in our area. He was one of probably the first people to get into what was mobile DJing here in the Hudson Valley when people started transitioning away from having, like a band at your wedding, and you started having people come play pre-recorded music. What's that? He was one of the first, maybe 2 or 3 DJs in our area to do that. Well, he and I developed a good friendship through bridal shows and just seeing each other in the area. And he knew that I was very passionate about DJing. I was also very passionate about interactive party games like people have seen I do with Daryl Jacobson at DJ Expo. I love the games, the interactive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me, would you be willing to come by the stadium and basically do a brainstorming session, kind of like quasi-consulting. Let's talk about some game ideas for the upcoming season. And this was probably, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Wow. So I would have like a yearly meeting with him at the stadium to discuss game ideas for the upcoming season. Did that over and over. And he started bringing me to the stadium maybe 2 times a year. And we would sit down with the incoming interns, college kids that are working for credits for the baseball season that would be on his staff on the field executing the games. And those kids would brainstorm ideas with us, and Rick and I would kind of do our own Shark Tank thing where we would evaluate and grade their suggestions, their games. We would take the games and reevaluate them. And that just kind of ballooned into then the team's ownership changed.
Uh-oh.
And they said, we need more people in the PA booth and working as game day staff. And Rick wanted to make sure that the people that were in some of those positions were kind of like his guys, people he could trust, that he knew how the stadium worked, how the games worked, what was expected. And he said, hey, you want to do this? And I said, sure, I'd be happy to. So my official title is PA booth producer. I kind of shorten it and say I work in game ops, where I'm kind of a director, air traffic controller. I sit in the PA booth and oversee the staff that's executing things. Like we have a guy that plays music and sound effects. It's not on a DJ console. It's on a touchpad computer screen with all of our music elements preloaded. There's a dedicated PA announcer. There's a video board operator who controls all the graphics, the messages, the sign, the sponsorship logos that go up on the board. And then we have an on-field host different from the PA announcer. And I just kind of direct everybody through the run sheet for the game because we have different elements we have to do. And that's what I do for them. And it is wildly different than private parties. The timing of things is probably the biggest element, is that when an inning, every single half inning, we're doing something, some kind of activity, some kind of interactive with the fans, whether it's a video that might show, the 3 numbered buckets and you got to follow it and find out which bucket's got the little prize in it to win a game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It might be a relay or a game on the field where there's props and interactivity and the fans are competing against each other for prizes. Every inning there's something. but you only have about 80 seconds from bell to bell to do it. So when the third out is recorded in an inning, you have to
Go.
that the field crew, the part of we call them the pinstripe posse because we're the Yankees. Those kids and the field host have to get on the field, get the props out, explain the game, execute the game, and get off the field by the time the pitcher's done their 8 warm-up pitches, so the batter's not standing there and the ump's not giving you the evil death stare. So that's like one of the biggest differences. Also, a lot of the music is pre-programmed and pre-decided ahead of time. There's no on-the-fly, hey, I'm feeling this song, let me play it. There's a little bit of wiggle room, and the kid that does the music for us, his name's Matt Murphy. He's fantastic. We can fudge it a little bit where I might say, hey, give me this instead, because maybe the interns who pre-made the playlist didn't think of a song that I did, and we can do a little on-the-fly changes, but most of it's predetermined, pre-picked out. The timing has got to be specific, but you want to make a fun fan experience. So that is like private parties where you want to have everybody having a great time, enjoying themselves, and we want the fans to come back and experience it again. And those are some of the key things for us. I've made this joke before, is that the baseball game gets in the way.
Really? I think they paid to see the baseball game.
Well, here's the thing, JP, if you think about it this way, we're only 60 miles north of Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. We have 2 pro teams very close by. This is not like a minor league team isolated in the middle of nowhere and it's the only pro team in town. And then if you start adding arena sports like the Knicks, Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Brooklyn Nets, we have the Jets, Giants, we have 9 pro teams very close to us.
Wow.
The Renegades are affordable for families and it's close by, but we need reasons to bring them back because our players disappear every year or two.
Yeah.
And we don't have Aaron Judge in the outfield.
No.
So the joke is, the baseball game gets in the way. It's all about everything else.
Wow. Because y'all just getting them ready for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. That's a good one there. You attended DJX since 1999. Wow. What keeps you coming back each year?
A lot of things. The 2 or 3 biggies are the friendships and the relationships I've made with people since 1999. My closest friend in the DJ industry and one of my dearest friends personally, Daryl Jake Jacobson, I met him there standing in a hallway outside of one of the event spaces before one of the nighttime parties. I was already friends with a couple other DJs from New Jersey. And in their network of friends, hung out with them for a couple of consecutive years. And then one year, Jake had been convinced by these same guys, hey, you should come to this DJ Expo. And standing in that hallway, they said, hey, Jake, this is our friend from New York. This is Mike. We met each other. We chatted. And I haven't stopped talking to him since.
Wow.
He is one of my closest friends, personally as well as professionally. So the relationships you built, the friendships you build, the education, it was mind-blowing. Like I got into the DJ, like I said, 97, fell in love with it. And by the time I went to that expo, I had learned a lot more about the business. I was doing my own parties. I was helping the guy that I worked for sign contracts and do kind of like small office tasks or help him fix equipment. Like I was really diving into it. And then getting to the expo, it was this door opening, like, oh my God, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people like me who are into this and love this. And I just wanted to consume as much information and ideas, and it became like a drug. It was addicting. I loved that first time I went in 99 was so awesome. The funny part is I hadn't turned 21 yet. My birth date was in December. So I was 20 and didn't turn 21 for 4 more months. So sneaking into places and getting alcohol underage and gambling underage was great, but I was addicted to it and fell in love with it. And just going back every year and giving back. I still enjoy going because I participate so much in some of the seminars. I help produce and host the Nightlife with Jake. Those things are just passions that I won't give up and won't turn down. I love the opportunity. I'm flattered and honored I have the opportunity to do it. But the networking, the education, the relationships are what keep me coming back every single year.
Let me ask you a question just to go a little bit deeper. So what is something over the years or one thing that you've taken back? I know we take back some every year, but what is one thing you can really remember that you took back and just totally changed your business or changed something in your business that you did?
One of the ones that pops into my mind, and I've referenced it before, was early on seeing Mike Walters speak. Now, I knew him casually early on. I had met him and introduced to him, but didn't develop a professional friendship with him yet. But he was giving a seminar about, I think it was even titled "How to Build Your Manage Your Multi-Op." But I mean, he was a DJ that had this big, successful multi-op company, and that was what the topic of that seminar was. And I worked for a multi-op. And even to this day, I work for a multi-op and one of the more senior guys at our company. And Mike Walter had a line that stuck with me about it was recognizing your staff. And I always considered myself a pretty good leader, a pretty good manager of people and personalities. And Mike said, whenever you get the chance to thank or praise or recognize a staffer's good work and successes, you should do it publicly. And right there in the seminar, he gave a gratuity, a tip, like a bonus to two of his staffers right in the expo, right in the seminar room. I was like, man, that's such a great idea. And to this day, I still apply that across the board. I've done it for my own staff when I've done seminars at the expo and recognize my guys. I have done it at the expo recognizing Mike Walter. He's there DJing in the seminar room for the entire week. And I will say, when it's my turn to lead a game, I'll say, hey, everyone give it up for Mike. He's making us out here look good playing our music. And I will give Mike like a Dunkin' Donuts gift card to get coffee.
That's
even for my own DJ company, when I'm DJing an event and it's a two-man team and I've got a DJ behind the booth, when we're wrapping up the party at the end, the finale's coming. Hey, and folks, give a round of applause to my DJ. He's back here playing all the music, making this look easy, but show him some love and make sure that the DJ gets acknowledgement. So recognizing your staff, recognizing what they do, thanking them for their hard work publicly, it goes a long way. And that was something that early on, and that was probably early 2000s, I took that away and still apply it to this day.
Wow, that's pretty good.
No, and it's needed because it gets forgotten so often, and it's like being in a relationship and someone saying, well, I thought he knew I loved him.
I liked him. Yeah.
It's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, because
like that.
Yeah, I think I saw a picture of the young man you brought to Chicago with you, that you brought one of your staff with you.
Yeah, every year that I went to the Chicago Marquee show for no, I didn't go this year for various reasons at home and work, but the three previous shows, each year I brought a different staffer for our company.
Yeah.
And the way it worked with bringing a different staffer was twofold, along with Josh Lask, who owns the company with his brother Matt. See them at the expo. And I brought Matt one year, but the following 2 years, I brought this guy named Tom Egan. Last year I brought, last year was Josh Shatesky. The idea was, one, we're investing in these staffers' education and building their careers. So it was an investment for the company, but it was also a reward for their hard work their successes and doing a great job for us. And we would tell them that, hey, we're investing in you. That's why we're bringing you to the show. But it's also a reward for great work and recognizing that. Because, you know, they're
I thought
getting
that was so cool. And we interviewed him. He was just elated, man. And you guys set up a program, give them a stipend, make sure they go to classes, don't get too drunk, because you're there to get educated. You know, you have a good time, but at the same time, the main reason you're there is get some good education.
Yeah, and it was an investment. You know, you've got your show badge, airfare, hotel, food per diem each day. Pretty much all they had to do was, hey, drinking or spending money, that's on you. The company's covering all the main expenses, even our parking at the airport in New York, leaving the car. Yeah, it was covered. So it was twofold. It was a reward, but it was an investment. And I told him, yeah, dude, at night, do what you want. I don't care. Be in those seminar rooms, be vertical, and be in a seminar room. And even the guys going to DJX, there was one year we brought, I think, 9 people with us, not counting me and Josh. It was an investment in all of them. Learn, network, apply things at your gigs, bring ideas to us. I mean, it helped because guys would say, hey, I heard so-and-so say this. What do you think? And they would bring the ideas. It would filter out through the whole company. Yeah.
Sometimes it can hit that light bulb.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and bring something out that they didn't expect.
Yeah, so being a DJ of the Year Finalist in 2016, what did that experience teach you?
Get over your fears. I loved watching the DJ of the Year competition while Mike Walter hosted it. I would be there every single year. I loved watching the different performers. Some of their games or some of their dance routines I would bring back and apply at my own DJ gigs where appropriate, or teach some of my staff. And I would always say to myself, man, I wonder if I can do that. And I would say to myself, I don't care about winning. I want to know, can I hang with the 10 or 12 people that are on that stage and say I can perform at that level? And I would chicken out and not want to do it because, everyone's going to be judging me. It's all DJs in the room, eyeballing and questioning everything I do. I don't want to hear the chatter. This guy's a hack. He doesn't know what he's doing. Blah, blah, blah. And I would.
It's tough.
Now, mind you, a few times Daryl Jacobson had asked me to come to the New Jersey DJ Network, their statewide monthly meeting, to do like a game seminar, help him out with their local group. And I went one year, and I think it was probably early in 2016 or late 2015. And I'd gotten there early because some of the DJs would arrive early, have lunch or have dinner, chat, hang out together. And Mike Walter was there having a beer. And am I allowed to curse on this podcast?
Yes. Wrong, folks.
Mike Walter's having a beer. I go over, I chat with him. I'm having a beer with him. And Mike goes, Mike, enough of this shit. Enter the goddamn competition, would you? And I was like, all right, enough of everybody, pushing me to go do it. I'm going to do it.
All right.
So I said to Mike, I'm in. I'll do it. And I had a game that was planned for that evening. I also had a game for Jake's seminar. Mike Walter also had like a Monday night mobile kickoff party, which was almost like DJ of the Year light. A lot of DJs showing different games or line dances. And I told Mike I would do something there as well to kind of break the ice and get used to the room that the competition was going to be in. So now I had committed myself to 3 different performances because I wasn't going to repeat it.
Wow.
I didn't want the Wednesday night game to be shown on Monday or Tuesday. I didn't want anyone to see it until Wednesday, so it would be new and fresh. So I had 3 different games. Then, oh, by the way, an opportunity to give a seminar solo by myself for the first time came out. So I added that to my calendar for the week, and I was stressing out a lot. I remember the Wednesday of the competition, I took a break from seminars to just hang out in the room. I nearly had a panic attack. I was wigging out, so nervous about Wednesday night. When Wednesday night finally came and I got my introduction done and I walked back off stage, the fear level disappeared completely. And I was like, I got this. I can do this. And I proceeded to have my performance. I did it. I did a solid job. I didn't win. The person who won was Jack Bermeo. The guy's one of only 2 3-time winners. So, I can sleep well at night, but it was a drug. And I loved doing that competition. I'm like, man, I should have done this earlier.
Yeah.
It taught me to get over my fears. And I'll tell you, between that and then Mike Walters stepped down to no longer host it. He had done it a long time. Jake was selected as his replacement. And I think Jake, after he talked to his wife to say, hey, I'm going to be the new host of the Entertainer DJ of the Year contest, Jake called me up and said, I want to co-host. Do you want to do it? And I said, heck yeah, I do. And I got to admit, the two things combined, now hosting in front of your peers and making sure your DJ friends have a good time, has forced me to, really elevate or be much more solid and smooth on the microphone. I think it's made a difference, but it was an amazing experience. But get over your fears, man. Don't be nervous.
Yeah. We all got that report card in our hand.
Do what you do well. Be confident. Don't be cocky. Being cocky causes you to make mistakes and slip and forget things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Be confident. And the confidence level went through the roof. And again, I got Jake and Mike to thank for, kicking me in the pants all those years. But yeah, Mike put me over the top when he said, enough of this shit. Get in the damn competition. that was the deal. But that was the straw that broke it.
All right. All right, Mr. Confident. You've helped produce the nightlife events at DJX. What's the difference? You've kind of talked about it. What's the difference about DJing for DJs versus the public? Being on that stage, DJing for us.
Well, that everybody in the room knows how DJing works. And, full disclosure, if you've been in the room, I don't DJ. I just MC.
Yeah.
I don't touch the decks.
But you did experience it before. But, how is it? Even just talking in front of us can be, you have some of the best speakers and, great presenters, Bill Herman, some of those guys that are, when the old heads were coming, what's his name? Mark Farrell, people like that in the audience. And here you are up there trying to entertain all of us.
I think it comes down to, showing that you're confident. If you look nervous or you look intimidated, everybody in that room is going to know. So I try not to show that I'm nervous or there's any fears up there, that I'm confident that I know how to do this. I like to make a joke that the microphone is my lightsaber because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Give me my lightsaber, as long as everything technically is working right, the confidence is there that, I can entertain DJs. And that's how private parties. If I know I can entertain a room full of DJs, 150 people at a wedding who don't know any better, that's cake. That should be easy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this in regards to that. Which was easier for you? MCing in front of DJs or DJing in front of DJs?
Well, I never DJ'd in front of the DJs. When that DJ of the Year competition was a performance interactive based thing. So like line dances, games, icebreakers, things like that. The hosting part, emceeing in front of DJs, like I said, once I got through that intro, you had a minute to kind of spill out who I am, where I'm from, what I'm going to be doing, and here's why it's going to be awesome. Thanks. See you in a few minutes when my turn comes up. I'm telling you, the confidence just rose and the fears dissipated. I mean, within seconds, I could feel it in my body how quickly it changed from that, the nerves just washing away. And I would assume that that's for a lot of people. Like Jake and I had asked people when we ran the competition about entering it. I'm willing to bet that the fears of being judged by your peers and getting in front of a crowd like that is a stumbling block. But
Very much so.
Yes.
yeah, and here the nice part about being a co-host, co-producer with Jake now is there's no judges. I'm not being judged. There's no scorecard. I don't have to be critiqued about it. I mean, people can critique me and say, Mike, you suck, or hey, that was awesome. This was a fun party.
Mhm.
But I'm not doing it to score points and competing against other people. I'm just doing it for the love of it, the passion of it. I like giving back to the DJs. Like, I want to give back that excitement, that energy that I got from this show. I want to give it to everybody in that room. Let's party. Let's have a great time.
It's been really good.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Young Jeffrey.
Yes, Miguel.
Okay.
What advice would you give to DJs who want longevity but are feeling burnt out? How do you keep the motor running? Yeah. How do you
make time for other interests and know how to turn this business off? And if you're a small business owner, I did the sole operator for a while, owned my own company, ran my company, just me. I had a couple of assistants that would help out, but it was all on me. I would make it a point to turn off the business brain and not answer every single email, even if it came in at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. No, I'm done with work. I'll deal with it the next day. Or this weekend I'm not DJing or not working. Like, being able to make your own schedule is great.
Mm-hmm.
But the time management, turning it off, having other interests. I enjoy playing golf, which I don't do as much as I used to because I have other interests or responsibilities like my daughter.
Yeah.
But here's a great one. I still play hockey. I play hockey once a week, if not every other week, but I still play hockey. I go out on the ice. I have a men's league team I play with, a bunch of guys that I have a great time with. And for an hour and a half, I'm getting a sweat in, I'm getting a workout, but I'm having fun, getting that competitive edge and chopping it up with the boys in the locker room, having some beers, having a great time.
So do y'all practice or?
No. This is show up once a week, out of shape, play for an hour and a half, and
are you out there checking people?
He got all his teeth.
I do. And I wear a full face cage.
Okay.
But at this level of men's league hockey, I mean, once there's no body checking. I mean, you bump into each other, but you got to remember, people got to go to work. I mean, we got guys on our team that are mechanics, COs, lawyers, DJs, teachers. People got to go to work the next morning. We're playing games at 9:30 at night, getting home at 11 o'clock at night. You can't be A-bomb hit.
That's pretty cool, man. I'm glad you're still doing that. I bet that's fun.
But yeah, you gotta be able to turn it off. Even like Josh has said, to other senior staffers, like if we're going to contact staff, like some of us have like designated times. Do not bug me. Don't talk to Mike. He's off. Like, I don't DJ unless it's a rare occurrence. Sundays, I don't DJ at all. Because a lot of times Sundays are a day that I'm with my daughter.
Family.
No DJ. Don't bug Mike. Don't ask him.
Yeah.
And so the other senior staff guys leave me alone. That's my time. And that is a huge thing that prevent burnout is having other interests, enjoy those interests and set time aside for it. Turn off the business, whether it's your notifications on your phone. Don't feel the need to respond to every email immediately or return every call immediately.
Boy, that's tough.
Shut it down.
We hear you. We hear you. We're gonna work on it.
Well, those are some strong words.
I said again, we hear you, but that's hard to do.
That's a good way not to get burnt out.
Yeah.
And look, I get it when someone's a solo op and it's their entire 100% livelihood. And if you're in a competitive market, that's why you should use tools like, autoresponders on emails, auto replies.
Uh-huh.
So you don't have to do it. Email comes in at 9:30 at night. inquiring about interest in your services. Hey, thanks for your interest. We've got your email. We look forward to chatting with you. We will contact you, within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. And then bright and early the next morning, get on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And set aside time in your day. This is my email time. This is my phone call time. This is my contract processing, whatever. Time management was huge. And I think one thing that helped me with that was when my daughter was born, I was still owning my own company. Time management was key because, sleep was a premium.
Yes, very much so.
Had to beg for it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what has working with HV Event Group taught you about teamwork and growth in this industry?
It's not just that group. It's been the other multi-ops I've worked for, but especially with the Hudson Valley Event Group is, everyone's got different personalities. Everyone's got different issues and trials and tribulations and ups and downs in their lives. Everybody reacts and responds differently to criticism or instruction differently, negative feedback differently. It has taught me and the other senior guys about dividing the workload, not trying to do everything yourself. Like within our company, I'm the director of operations. I'm in charge of assigning all the equipment to the different DJs for their events, making sure it's prepped, ready to go, making purchases for new gear, repairs on gear, sending them out, things like that, making sure our staff has what they need and the tools to do their job, that sort of thing. And, another guy handles kind of the initial interviews and hiring and bringing on new staff. A different guy handles the staffing assignments for individual jobs, mainly for the photo booth attendants, DJ assistants, the event staff, the extra staff outside of the headliner. Josh, the owner, payroll, that's what he handles. He doesn't handle the day-to-day minutia of the DJ company. His brother Matt, myself, this other guy Dan Bolger, we handle all that stuff. So working together as a team, being in communication with each other, and knowing who's doing what roles, trusting them to get those things done, picking each other up. If someone's on vacation, someone's out, hey, can you handle this? And working together, because when you get to a company that's got 9, 10, 11 headliners, it gets unwieldy. It gets big fast.
Yeah.
It's you got to rely on each other and trust each other to do the right thing and handle the responsibilities they have.
Wow, man, it's a lot. So how do you stay inspired and continue evolving in this game that keeps changing with technology and the ease to get into it? How do you stay inspired and continue to evolve?
Boy, that's a good question. I've never really thought about it. I think the evolving music is an inspiration, finding new tracks or discovering new tracks from other DJs, just seeing some of the different things people are doing. I'm not a huge fan of social media. It's kind of like a necessary evil. I think there's a lot more negatives that come with social media, but the opportunity to see the types of gigs that people are doing, the types of shows they're putting together, or rigs of performances, their production values, that inspires me. Even watching sporting events, concerts, professional wrestling, and you see the production values at events, like, wow, that's really cool. How could we do that on a mobile DJ level or on a mobile DJ budget? Those things inspire me. Opportunities to try new things, whether it's with video or like one thing we did for the DJ Expo when Jake and I took over hosting DJ of the Year. We changed the name to Entertainer of the Year because it wasn't a DJ mix-off battle type competition. I was inspired by movie trailers and like the hype videos you see at a sporting event.
Mm-hmm.
Like JP, if I recall, you're a New Orleans Saints fan, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you've probably been to the Superdome and seen a game there, or you've gone to
Yeah.
Jerry World, you've gone to the Death Star and seen the Cowboys play the Saints, right?
Yes.
You would see these cool ass hype videos.
Oh man.
Charge the fans up. They're quickly edited.
Oh,
They got banging music, and they get the crowd kind of like, you're in New Orleans Saints country. Here we go. You know what I'm saying?
They have one that I just love. I hate to jump in it, but there's one where they're like, if we playing the Falcons, it'll put like food in New Orleans, places to go in New Orleans. Then they'll show you some in Atlanta, like some dive or some kind of horrible food that they say, this is what you get in New Orleans versus what you get. And they do it for every city. And man, those are hilarious.
Yeah. Well, here's the inspiration part. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we did interviews with all the competitors before the competition?
Oh, wow.
We edit it to some cool music and show it at the DJ Expo before the competition began. So,
excellent.
So year one, and I did this on my own. I was not a professional video editor. I self-taught myself. I'm not a videographer. I self-taught myself. I was walking around with like a Sony Handycam with a really crappy body mic on a wire connected to the phone. I would track the competitors down on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Get a good
What does it mean to be in the competition? What would it mean if you win? Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then I would run back to the room. And from Tuesday night, I'm not kidding. You can ask Jake this. From Tuesday night, probably for like all night, I'm talking like 9, 10 o'clock at night till about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock the next morning. I am sitting here at this laptop, editing this thing, setting it to music. And then at the competition, we would run the video back kind of as like, here we go. We're about to start. Mm-hmm. The first, and I was so stoked to do this, and I got great feedback, but I knew we had hit something fun because when I ran that video back and the competitors got to hear themselves talking about being DJs and giving back to the industry and doing this, there were some of the competitors visibly tearing up.
Oh, wow.
Before they got on stage. I was like, this was awesome. But I got inspired because I think movie trailers and those hype videos are really cool. They create emotion really fast and tell a story really quick. So we applied that, and I did that for 3 or 4 years. The weight of it was getting a little unruly, and changes in what we do on Wednesday night. I was like, all right, I don't need to keep, stressing out. I mean, I had one of those videos literally rendering on my laptop as I'm walking to the club to do the show. It was that quick, but I close to the time. Hopefully this works, but that was how I got inspired by all sorts of things.
So within your company, do you guys, or y'all try to keep up with the trends, glow tubes, all those things? Are y'all doing that kind of stuff? Or
we do keep up on trends. We make calculated decisions on what things we're going to incorporate into the company because of various factors. Is there a market for it? Are we getting clients asking for these things? The expense, one thing we're going to start doing is transitioning slowly to have a couple of sets of column array speakers. Like, we don't own any of those as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're thinking about doing is, all right, we're going to get a couple of those. And then for certain venues, certain events where it'll be the right look and the right sound for the size of the venue, a DJ can be assigned those and take them out on an event. But we have to, look at things from like a cost benefit. If we want all of our guys to have very similar looking setups, we can't very well, turn around and drop the amount of money on 11 pairs of column speakers. We can't turn around and drop. Well, it just way too much capital investment. There's other things we need to spend money on, but we do keep up on things, and for when we see it's appropriate or a need for it, we've done it. A lot of times it's been in the bar mitzvah market. We are in the bar mitzvah capital of the world, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area.
Yeah.
So we've invested money in things like lounge furniture and the arcade game stuff. I mean, if you want foosball, air hockey, pop-a-shot basketball, table tennis. You can rent all dance platforms. We got all that stuff. Why? Because we were getting a demand for it, and seeing that it was popular and had a good return. Let's get it. And so we've got a storage unit filled with just that stuff. No
So
DJ.
you weigh it versus ROI before you move into it.
Oh, absolutely. And we also try to see, if we have a client that's going to book this stuff.
Yeah.
Look, if the client's going to say, hey, I want to have a lounge at my gig, and we didn't have it yet. All right, are we going to charge them enough to basically cover the cost of this stuff? And usually that's the case, but now we have it available to use.
Yep. Somebody else pays for it.
Yeah.
All right.
And JP, I'll tell you one other thing. We'll make a point of, like the lounge furniture we have. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at a cost price point where after one event, it's been profitable. If it gets like really damaged and effed up, gone, buy a new one. We don't even bother trying to repair it. Toss it, get a new one.
I'm gonna have to weigh those. I'm always trying to repair and get one more showing out of it, but one more time, man. One more night. Yeah, we trying to recycle over here, brother. We ain't trying to. No.
Look, there's certain things. Yes, send it out for repair.
I'm just kidding. But I get you though. Like, sometimes it's less the hassle to just go ahead and replace it with something. And stuff is forever changing. So
and here's something. Here's something like with the air hockey table. We had a client that wanted that, so we found one that was fairly inexpensive that looked nice.
Mm-hmm.
We bought it. It wasn't very expensive. Once we had it and used it, we were like, this is really something that was meant to be set up in someone's game room and not moved around and banged around in a truck
with some kids too.
But it was so cheap, it was profitable on gig one. We used it for like 3 or 4 more times until it got to a point where, all right, Mike can't fix this anymore. But we bought a new one, we bought a better one. Yeah. Like get the first one and just get it out the door.
I'm gonna give you my philosophy. When I can afford it, buy it the first, buy right, so I don't have to buy again.
I agree with that as well. With certain things that are mission critical,
your
speaker, your controller, your microphone, buy it once.
Microphone. How many times can we say that? Microphone.
Yeah,
you got to have a nice microphone because they can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we staticking and going out all night. I can't hear you, Mike.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You don't want to sound like a New York City subway and train conductor.
They don't say much anyway, but yeah, I got you. Well, you can't hardly hear it anyway on the subway. Yeah, you just praying and reading. But go ahead, Mike.
So what legacy do you want to leave behind in the DJ world?
I haven't thought of this specifically, this question, but I do know that I want people or my colleagues to say that, Mike gave back to the industry. The first DJ Expo changed my career trajectory, influenced me greatly. I told this story one-on-one to people before, or in seminars when people have asked me, that those first expos, I was influenced greatly by 5, 6, 7 people. Mike Walter, KC, Barcello, Jerry Siracusa, Adam White, Sean Big Daddy. Those were the people that were giving the seminars, that were at the forefront of the room, and I was blown away hearing them talk about the industry on these different subjects. And I was just that kid in the background, watching. And once I started getting an opportunity to speak, to be in front of that room, to talk to my fellow DJs, I made it a point that even back then I said, if I ever get the chance, I want to give back to the industry. I want to be up there doing that. And I still to this day think about there's some Mike Alevras in the back of the room who might get influenced or want the opportunity to give back to the industry. So that would be the biggest thing, is that I wanted to give back the industry, leave it in a better place than I found it. And that, I work really hard at what I do, took care of my daughter, paid my bills, did what I had to do, and enjoyed every second of it. And it didn't, I don't want this to ever feel like, a monotonous, repetitive job. If it was like that, there's tons of other jobs you can do that'll do that for you. And I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and I enjoy what I'm doing. Yeah. But leaving other DJs, whether it's inspired or passionate and wanting to continue the DJ culture, the DJ industry, that's a legacy I'd be happy to leave behind.
Oh yes, that's a good one. Oh yes.
Well,
we got the people at your stadium. We're live at the Renegade Stadium.
Heritage Financial Park, if I don't say
Heritage Financial. Man, but we really appreciate you jumping on, because I just reached out to him this weekend. I had a thought. I said, it's getting close to DJ X time. I need to talk to Mike. I need to, because I know these guys are going to be up there putting blood, sweat, and tears and trying to make sure we have the best show possible.
Well,
and he may not have time to talk to us when we're in New York. I mean, when we're in the city. I know.
Come on, you guys can find me. I'm everywhere.
Oh yeah, I know it. I told him. I said we talked to Mike last year too. We had a ball right in front of Joe Bunn's booth when you had 1,001 T-shirts in your hand.
Yeah, and that's that was something that Jake and I made a conscious effort of. This year Wednesday night we've got a great party planned.
Okay.
We've got
I'm gonna give you one T-shirt too, one large.
Oh, dude, hook it up, baby. Hook it up. But we wanted to make sure DJs love free stuff. Come on.
Yes, we do.
They want the free stuff. And somehow that had gotten away from some of the parties. And so I started, hitting up Jim Tremaine, and I started walking the show floor, hitting up people who I'd networked with, people I developed relationships with. Hey, can I get a couple shirts? Why? I want them for Wednesday night. Give me some shirts. Give me some shirts. And I'm literally walking around with a trash bag of T-shirts to hand out on Wednesday night.
We saw you.
Yeah. But we've got 3 great DJs. Big Daddy's going to close again. Jake and I'll have like a formal announcement. I can tell people, instead of just one giveaway on Wednesday night, like we've had previously, a pair of RCF speakers, we're giving away a pair of speakers again. But we've also got Jetpack is giving us a Jetpack bag to give away. And since Pioneer Alpha Theta is one of the sponsors as well, they're giving us 3 pairs of headphones to give away.
Wow. All right.
We're gonna have
y'all hear all this stuff they're giving away on Wednesday night at the party?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
DJ X.
DJ X, man. 35 years.
35 years.
Do you have a 35-year outfit, or are you doing something special with 35 on it?
I don't know. Probably not.
A little creativity there. Come on.
You know what? Based on you now putting that into my head, now I'm going to have to think.
Me and Mike is still pondering. We haven't figured out what we're going to do yet, but we're going to come up with something 35.
Yeah. But I mean, the party's going to be like a 35th anniversary of music. So the DJs will be spinning anything that's been, released since DJ X's first show in 1990.
Late 90s.
And, it's
jumped on the scene.
It's crazy to think. I mean, the show, I'm looking at the counter right now. It's 33 days away. I mean, it's
yeah, it is, man. It's coming. Yeah, we need to get these airline tickets. I know y'all are skipping a hop away, but we need to go on and get this airline and that bus ride from Philly.
Yes, that
is so crazy. American Airlines bus.
Yeah, well, I luck out. I live about 3 hours north of Atlantic City, so it's a drive for me. And what I've done the last few years is, because Jake will come up, Jake's now transplanted New Jersey, living in Atlanta. And Jake has a party band that he still performs with a couple times a year in Jersey, and he'll book band gigs for the Saturday before the expo and the Saturday after the expo. So what we've been doing, I pitched the idea of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you had like a DJ play before you guys go on stage and in between your sets?
Look at you.
And he brought it up to the bandmates, and they're like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Sure.
So I literally bring my controller, like my deck, my laptop, and my headphones. That's it.
plug in and
plug into the sound system, and I'll play some music and hype the crowd before they take the stage. DJ in between their sets. It's a lot of fun. Jake and I get some extra time to spend, hang out together, see him. And then Jake and I, and that's usually in Jersey. So I'll take like half of the drive to meet Jake for the band show, spend Saturday with him in Jersey, and then he and I will drive the rest of the way to AC. So I luck out. It's a drive for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well,
that's nice.
Again, man, we really appreciate you coming on. Can't wait to see you in 33 days. God, it's coming quick. 33 days. We'll be
to celebrate.
Yeah.
30.
And if people are still on the fence, I mean, it was life-changing, career-changing for me. Go to this show. Go. Like the DJ trade shows, DJX will do more than any Facebook social media DJ group. It's just you can't beat it. You can't beat the power of face-to-face.
And man, listening to you, I listen and I hear the things that you say, and I feel the same way. Where one speaker just changed. For me, it was Matt Redaselli the first time I came to Mobile Beat. And then every conference, it's always somebody. But Matt I said, this guy's doing this. I can do this.
Well, I'll let you know a little secret. Matt will be at DJX this year.
Yeah, Matt's always there. But I'm let's
put it this way: he's going to be involved.
Oh, okay. All right. Look at you he's trying to drop stuff. We're gonna get you off here before you say too much. Hey, but yeah, make sure you drop your comments in the chat on the show, and we'll be sure to answer you or whatever we can to get back to everybody. But hey, and next week we'll go ahead and drop it now. We have paddle stands. He's going to be on the show. Andrew Rounds. He's going to be our guest next week. So
nice.
Yeah, man. But
guys, it was an absolute pleasure. I love the two of you guys. Can't wait to see you in about a month.
Back, brother.
We will see you in Jersey, brother. Mike, take us out, brother.
I'll do my best. I'll try to take us out. Y'all have a good one.